it's been a refreshing scene on ESPN lately, actually for the last year or so. After retiring from NBA as a player, JJ Redick has joined ESPN as an analyst, is appearing on more and more of their shows, and quickly has become one of the fan favorites. He offers great insight into the game, makes good points, and most importantly, doesn't scream, shout, doesn't make crazy stupid takes, like some other ESPN personalities. But it's been just a year since JJ Redick played his last NBA game. If you were only watching his last season in the NBA, or maybe even just his 11-game stint in Dallas, took a quick look at his stats from last season, you might think, what's the big deal? The guy averaged only 7 points per game. The fact of the matter is, JJ Redick for a long time was one of the best shooters in the NBA, and for 10 years in a row averaged double-digit points. Hey guys, hope you're doing well. Purple Prince here, and today let's take a look at JJ Redick and how good he was really. JJ Redick polished his basketball skills at Duke. He spent 4 years there, becoming one hell of a scorer. In his final season at Duke, JJ Redick averaged 26.8 points. Throughout his whole college career, he averaged 19.9. Of course, even back in college, he was a volume 3-point shooter, averaging 8.1 3-point attempts a game and obviously making 40.6% of them. He also won the 2006 College Player of the Year award. His great shooting was surely the skill NBA teams needed, so in the 2006 NBA draft, he was drafted with the 11th pick by Orlando Magic. Right away, even during his college days really, you could tell that JJ Redick is a very down-to-earth guy. The type of guy who won't act up because he doesn't get minutes, the necessary shots, or praise. In fact, in a 2005 interview with the Charlotte Observer, Redick said, "I think I'll be a role player like 80% of the players in the league are. I don't expect to be a star. I'll just shoot, be a team player." That just shows his intelligence and how great of a teammate and locker room presence he was during his whole NBA career. He knew his athletic and defensive limitations, and he played around them. In his rookie season, Redick was Orlando's backup point guard. He didn't get much playing time as there were a lot of guards on the team besides him. Keith Bogans, Grant Hill, Trevor Ariza, Carlos Arroyo, Keon Dooling, and Jameer Nelson. Orlando was very guard heavy, but he used the time he was given and ended his rookie season averaging 6 points in 14.8 minutes per game. But something just wasn't working in Orlando. From JJ Redick's side, it was his defense. He came into his second season as a third-string player. In addition to that, he also had back spasm, which limited his availability. After Trevor Ariza got traded to the Lakers, he got some playing time, but not much. Stan Van Gundy didn't really want to play him, and JJ was frustrated himself. "It's been proven that even if I play well in the limited minutes I get, that not much is going to change." He requested a trade but was denied and didn't get any more minutes. So his second season in the league was very frustrating as he averaged only 8 minutes and 4 points per game. Even though during the next 2 seasons he played a bit more, he still wasn't used as much as he should have been. So when in July of 2010 he received a $19 million offer sheet from the Chicago Bulls, it probably was a sigh of relief. Finally, a chance to play somewhere else, and maybe have a more prominent role on his team. But Orlando Magic matched the offer sheet, and he ended up spending almost 3 more years in Orlando. Almost. Before the 2013 NBA trade deadline, JJ Redick was traded to the Milwaukee Bucks. He struggled mightily in Milwaukee, shooting just 40% from the field and 31% from the three. He spent just 28 games in Milwaukee, as in the summer of 2013, he was involved in a sign-and-trade deal that sent him to the Los Angeles Clippers. He finally became a full-fledged starter in the league, and he sort of prospered in his new role. As the Clippers' starting shooting guard, he was now averaging more than 15 points per game, shooting tremendously from the three-point line, one year actually leading the league by hitting 47.5% of his three-pointers. While his defense was still suspect, he definitely made up for it with his shooting and leadership. In total, JJ spent 4 years with the Clippers. During that time, he averaged 15.8 points per game and in the process became one of the most respected shooters in the league. You just couldn't leave him open. His next career stop? Philly. They initially signed him only for one season, but after averaging his career best 17.1 points per game and hitting 42% of his three-pointers, Philly re-signed him to one more year. Now, most of the time when you resign a player after a good season, he just doesn't give you the same production he did before. Not JJ. He had his best scoring season once again, at the age of 34. He averaged 18.1 points per game and still shot the three at 40%. After maybe the best season of his career, Philadelphia seemingly didn't want or couldn't have him back, which, as we know, was a mistake. So he signed with the New Orleans Pelicans, where he took on a lesser role but still was averaging 15.3 points per game and shooting 45% from the three. JJ Redick was also one of these rare players who made the playoffs every year he was in the NBA. That was up until New Orleans, when the team wasn't as good. So his first season in New Orleans also marked the first time in his career that he missed the playoffs. For his second season there, he was reunited with his former Magic head coach Stan Van Gundy. Yep, that was very enjoyable the first time around they were on the same team. Coincidence or not, right away JJ became a bench player again, and his minutes were almost cut in half. His shooting numbers went down, and during the season he was traded to the Mavericks. Thanks, Stan. He played only 13 games for Dallas, where he didn't get much playing time at all, and after the 2020-21 season, he decided to call it quits. So in total, JJ Redick spent 15 seasons in the league, participated in 940 games, and averaged 12.8 points on 44.7% shooting from the field and 41.5% from the three. One thing I didn't mention before but have to mention now is that he was a great free throw shooter. He made 89.2% of his free throws during his career and had 8 seasons of making more than 90% of those. Sure, he didn't shoot a lot of them, but when he did, it was a surprise if he missed. Currently, JJ Redick is number 16 on the all-time three-pointers made list with 1,953 pointers. His number 4 jersey is retired by Duke Blue Devils men's basketball team. So his college career was better than his NBA career, but his NBA career was still nothing to sneeze at. More than 12,000 points for his career, one of the top shooters of his generation and all time, and more importantly, a great teammate. And now, we get to enjoy his takes on ESPN. But what do you think? How would you rate JJ Redick's basketball career? Would you want a player like him on your team? Please leave your comment down below. Don't forget to leave a like for JJ, subscribe to the channel, and enable bell notifications to not miss any upcoming uploads. Thank you very much for watching. This is Purple Prince, and I'm out.